Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining me this morning. So when you're ready, find yourself in a seat, either cross-legged or on the knees, and start to roll through the shoulders, just taking a few breaths. And while you're at home, it might be nice to get a pillow to sit under, or a cushion, any kind of blanket that you might need for our little Shavasana at the end. Otherwise, we're just going to ground down. So rolling through the shoulders, finding one nice slow direction. And then gently go the other way. You can close down the eyes, and we'll just take a few moments to let the dust settle, just connect to the breath. Without trying to change it, just start by simply observing the flow. Getting the breath in, followed by the breath out. Then we'll start to elongate the breath. So on the next inhale, find a count of about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then the exhale slightly longer, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in and breathe out. One more round, just like that. And just slowly letting the breath return to its natural rhythm. You can start to just gently blink the eyes open. We're going to inhale to first reach the arms overhead, and then exhale, pull them into your heart space. Next breath in, interlace the fingers and find a slight dome through the back as you push the hands away. Again, the inhale, we rise the hands to the sky, chest comes through, and then exhale, soften them down either side of you. Inhale, hands to your heart space. Exhale, dome the back, push the hands away. Inhale, lift up the hands, the chest. And then exhale, soften them either side. One more round, just like that. Breathe in, press away, lift up, and then soften the hands. So good. Gently walk yourself forward through all fours and remove any cushions or props that you have, and start to find that neutral spine. So pressing down through the palms there underneath the shoulders, and you've got the knees under the hips. Take a moment here. And then tuck your toes under, press yourself back to downward facing dog. So a moment to either pedal out through the feet or just let the heels melt to the back of the space. We're just breathing, softening down. And then slowly we'll take that gaze to the hands. We're going to just tiptoe one little step at a time. Walk yourself all the way into ragdoll. So chest is melting over the thighs, and maybe you grab the opposite arm and just find a little sway from side to side. Let the head relax down to the earth. And hands go long, slowly peel yourself vertebrae by vertebrae. Come all the way through standing. You're going to take a nice reach of the hands to the sky when you arrive. And then hands to your heart space, slowly melt it down. Uttanasana, chest goes back towards the thighs. Breath in, we're going to take a halfway lift. Hands might come to the shins, inhale. And then breath out, plant the hands. The left foot will lead you back, then the right. Take a moment here in your high plank, and then drop those knees, untuck the toes, slowly bend through the elbows to lower the chest. Breath in, peel those shoulders and elbows, roll back. Breath out, tuck the toes, send the hips back, down dog. Another moment, catch your breath. And again, look to the hands. You can walk or maybe step through, take that halfway lift to breathe in. Straight away, fold and breathe out. Inhale, mountain, reach nice and tall, ground through the feet. And then exhale, fold down, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift your chest halfway. Exhale, plant your hands. This time, right foot leads you back, then the left. Take a moment, high plank. You can drop the knees or keep them lifted. Bend those elbows. Breath in, you might find up dog, so thighs are lifted, or still that baby cobra. And then press it back to down dog. Take a moment, pedal out the feet. Next inhale, please float your right leg to the sky. As you exhale, step that right foot top of the mat, maybe somewhere behind or outside your right wrist. We're just going to find a simple twist. So let your left knee soften, and then your right palm slowly reaches to the sky. And hips are melting forwards. Really broaden through the collarbones. You might look up to that top hand. And then gently take it back through center. Maybe walk that foot in slightly narrower. We're going to reach up to Anjaneyasana. So those hips are pressing forward. We've still got that back knee dropped. And we're breathing and creating space here at the hips. Can you wrap your pinky fingers forward and pull the triceps back by the ears? Take a full breath in. On the breath out, shift it back, half Hanuman. So hands are going to come down to the earth. You're going to extend that right knee out a little and check your left thigh hasn't collapsed in. You might need to pick up the toes and maybe walk it back slightly. Really just breathing into that right hamstring. See if you can flex your toes. So pull them back towards your nose or your shin. Be nice and gentle, still early in the day. So just warming up those muscles. Start to walk your hands forward, gently press that front foot towards the earth. We're going to ground through the palms to pick up the back toes and ground that back foot down. Make your way to warrior one. So we've got that back outer blade edge grounded and the feet are like train tracks. There's a bit of space here. We're bending to stack the front knee on top of that ankle. See if you can plug your right hip back, left hip forward. And then again, hands towards the sky, pinkies facing forward. Just breathing here. And we'll take the hands to interlace at the low back. Pull the chest through, breath in, and then slowly breath out, take humble warrior. So that chest comes inside the thigh and you're stretching the hands forward. Really nice opening posture here. And then slowly those hands are going to come down either side of you without sweeping. See if you can come to the toes of the back foot and then step it back to your high plank. There's an optional flow on offer. Otherwise, straight back to down dog. Next inhale, please float the left leg to the sky. Breath out, we're going to step that foot forward. Take a moment, let the hips settle. We're going to drop the back knee, untuck the toes. Again, find your simple twist. Left hand reaches when you inhale. Really pressing out of that right wrist. See if you can soften the hips a little further. You might look up to the top palm. And then take that left hand back down. We're taking it to Anjaneyasana. So you might walk the foot in slightly, start to reach the chest and the arms forward and up. Slowly melting the pelvis towards that front heel. Take another moment. On the next breath out, we're going to shift it back, half Hanuman. So hands come down and you're extending that left leg. Toes are flexing towards you. And then again, that sort of squaring off action of the hip. So left hip back, right hip forward. Take a moment, get broad through the chest. Use the breath out to melt a little deeper. And gently start to bend into the knee. We're going to walk those hands forward, picking up the back toes. We'll ground through the outer blade edge and then make your way, warrior one. You might need to narrow that stance. Making sure the weight through that back foot is nice and even or more towards the outer blade edge. It's not dumping into the front of the ankle. Maybe you bend a little deeper into that front knee. And then on your inhale, the hands will come to the low back, really broaden through the chest. Take a nice slow exhale, diving down, humble warrior. And take your time to press through that front foot a little. Hands are going to come down either side and we'll step back without the sweep, take it to high plank. And then there's that option for a flow or straight to down dog. Connecting to the breath. Next inhale, right leg floats. Breath out, step it outside that right wrist. We're going to take simple twist. This time the knee is lifted. Inhale, right hand to the sky. Just a moment here. And then frame the front foot, find Anjaneyasana. So knee drops and we're going to lift the arms, the chest, breath in. As you breathe out, half Hanuman, start to extend that right leg out a little. Hands come to the mat. Take a moment to fold and square through the hips. And then bend into that front knee, plant the foot down, walk those hands forward, make your way, warrior one, ground outer blade edge of that back foot. Use the inhale to interlace the hands and the breath out. We're going to dive that chest forward. Just a moment here. Can you let the crown of the head melt down? Nice. And then this time, press into that front foot so much that you start to lift up through the chest. Walk that front foot in a little narrower. Maybe widen the stance, warrior two. We're going to extend the arms out long. Make sure that right knee is tracking in line with the toes. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. The inhale, we're going to reach it forward, flip the palm and reverse your warrior. And the exhale to frame, windmill the hands to that top foot, step it back. Everybody take a nice slow flow, really connect to your breath. Let's keep moving. That left leg floats the inhale and step it forward. Breath out and then next inhale, simple twist. Take a moment, press out of your wrist. Frame that front foot, drop the knee, Anjaneyasana for just a breath in. And then the breath out, half Hanuman, really warming up through the hips now, the hammies. Take a moment to fold a little deeper. And then hands walk forward. We're going to pick up the back toes, ground that outer blade edge. Inhale, warrior one. And slowly exhale, humble warrior. Interlace those hands. Take your time to melt the chest down. When you're ready, start to press yourself up and narrow the stance. Open out. Warrior two, bend into that front knee. Let the shoulders soften. Inhale to paint the sky, flip and reverse your warrior. And then exhale, frame the front foot, step it back. Take that flow. Nice and slow. And then next inhale, again, we're floating that right leg. As you breathe out, half pigeon, we're going to take right knee towards the right wrist and extend that left leg back out long. So you've got the shin working towards parallel at the top of the mat. And then you might walk the hands back either side of you and just take a little softening of the hips side to side. staying upright, or if it feels okay, you might start to melt the chest forward. There is also the figure 4, so reclined variation of this shape, which is down on the back with the thigh stacking, the ankle stacking on top of the thigh. So feel free to take that option. Otherwise, let's just take a few slow breaths, try to scan through the body for any pockets of tension. Just allow them to slowly release and relax. Make your way onto the forearms or the palms. I want you to take your back foot just out a little wider. We're going to start to press yourself back. So the leg can follow. You're going to land inside the ankle of that bent up foot. And this is where your cushion or any sort of props might come in handy. Otherwise, your half saddle is where we're aiming. So the right leg is extended long and your left leg is bent up with the ankle sort of tucked, the foot tucked, and the ankle right next to the hip. This might be enough, or even if it's too much, then feel free to take the standing variation. So just standing on your right foot, pulling the left foot into the glute. Otherwise, maybe you point the fingertips towards the top of the mat and come onto the palms. Slowly walk the hands behind you. Again, that squaring action of the hip. So a gentle press down of the left hip. Maybe you roll the shoulders back and just gently let the head drop. This might be enough for this morning. Otherwise, feel free to advance the shape. And one more breath here. And then slowly you're going to roll yourself over to the right. The hands might follow, so you can kick that leg out in front and just take a little windscreen wiper motion with the feet. Just let the hips recalibrate. And then we'll cross those feet over to take your palms back towards the top of the mat. Again, we'll meet in down dog. So tuck those toes, press the hips back. Use the breath in to float the left leg. And then the breath out to bring that knee to the wrist and extend the right leg behind you. Your half pigeon shape. Again, don't rush. You could wiggle side to side with the hips or slowly start to fold it forward. And then slowly make your way out of this shape. Again, take that right foot a little wider and the hands will follow you back as you slowly use the left foot to press yourself all the way back, keeping that left leg extended out. Just noting the pressure through the joints here. Make sure it's not too intense. If it feels okay, maybe walk the hands behind you and start to soften back a little. Might even let the head drop behind you. Just one more breath. And start to bring the chest forward. Hands come to the left as you roll to that side. Take the soles of the feet into the mat and find that little windscreen wiper motion. And then you might need to slowly walk yourself forward. We're going to find ourselves into Shavasana now. So maybe taking those soles of the feet to the ground and just gently lowering your back down. Maybe taking a moment to hug the knees in towards the chest. And then slowly walk those legs out nice and long. Maybe the hands reside either the side of the hips, the palms facing up, or you could place them somewhere along the torso. And then just a few minutes to breathe in this shape and take a moment to notice that your environment is obviously different to the one that we provide in the studio. You might have kids or pets or partners or someone distracting you. But see if you can just commit to a couple minutes here, really just easing the body and the breath. Maybe scanning from the toes up through the legs and into the hips, the belly, the chest. Just allow yourself to be still and soften, relax. The quote I always fall back onto during these times is that the only constant is change. Whether you like it or not, change is inevitable. But throughout today, maybe you just focus on the changes and shifts you have within your control, your energy, your thoughts, your breath, your body. And you might use a change of the physical state, like your yoga practice or just a walk or some form of movement, to then take that change into the mind, or vice versa. You could use the breath to change how the body and the mind feel. Spend just another minute completely allowing the body and the mind to just rest and digest, to relax, and just really melt into the mat space. And start to draw a big breath into the belly through the nose. And let the breath go. Exhale through the mouth. Another round just like that. A big inhale. And a nice slow exhale. And just one more time, filling up the lungs, the chest, the belly, the whole body. And then sigh it out, let something go. Just allow yourself to relax and release. And slowly wiggle through fingers and toes. Maybe stretch those arms overhead. And if you're not there already, just roll to your preferred side and press yourself up into a seat. Drawing hands to your heart space. honoring your practice and all of those virtually around you. Thanks for joining me this morning, everyone. I hope you have a beautiful day.